Hello students, welcome to Course Orientation Part 1. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. Welcome to the Spring 2025 semester. I hope the winter break has served for you to get re-energized so we can start strong in this brand new semester that we're going to just about to begin. Okay, now let's begin with the first part of the orientation. Okay, let's see what we have to cover here. Okay, now this orientation is for the spring 2025 semester. These are the courses that I will be teaching in the spring semester. I have several sections of several of these courses. I'm going to be teaching Intro to Accounting 1, Payroll and Business Tax Accounting, and Computerized Accounting Applications. Those three, I have several sections of them. They will be online. Now for my Principles of Financial Accounting and Principles of Managerial Accounting, which are two of the transferable courses that we do offer. Those I will be teaching in both a traditional face-to-face modality and an online modality. So it just depends what you signed up for. Okay, if you signed up for a traditional face-to-face class, we will be meeting on the designated dates and times. So I don't have an issue with that. Just do make sure that you do attend classes because very important information is covered. Okay. For my online courses, you've selected to work online, so it's a more flexible environment, and I'll go over that in a bit with you, all of you. Okay. Now, my online classes. Okay, how are they going to work? Okay. So my online courses are asynchronous courses. Um, for my asynchronous courses, what happens is I open up my assignments on a weekly basis. Okay, so the assignments open up on Monday and they close on Sunday for the most part. Okay, you need to refer to your syllabus for specific details about that. But usually they open on Monday, they close on Sundays, and students have the entire week to complete the assignments on their own schedules and time. We do not have a set time to meet, but rather I provide you with pre-recorded lectures, any curriculum, any resources that you need to be able to complete your task. Okay. Students have the control of identifying what date and times works best for them. I don't care about when you work on your assignments as long as you complete them by the deadline. Okay. Now there's some pros and cons for asynchronous courses. Some of the pros are that they provide the flexibility. Students can engage in the courses whenever, wherever, and however they want as long as they adhere to the deadlines. Students with demanding circumstances in their personal lives, such as having children, aging parents, ill spouses, whatever it is that you're going through, this allows students to schedule their coursework around their lifestyle rather than their lifestyle around their courses. Now, there are some cons to asynchronous courses. Some students find it difficult to engage with due to the sense of distance that comes with these courses. We don't have any live interaction, so asynchronous courses can feel tedious or dull to some students with a stronger sense of community. Now, just because these courses are online and they're asynchronous does not mean that you cannot engage or collaborate with your peers. I always encourage my students to establish study groups. Okay, get your peers' phone numbers, emails, whatever works, so you can set up WhatsApp. We've got the Pronto app where you students can engage in. I mean, you can still help each other out, form study groups, set times and dates where you all can meet and help each other out. Okay, I am all for students forming study groups. When I was going to college, I had a group of friends that I would always hang out with, and we would do our homework together. Okay, we would work on the assignments, compare answers, and if there was any discrepancies, we would discuss and figure out who had the right answer, and we would help each other out, and that really helped tremendously in my learning potential here. Now, another con for asynchronous courses is the flexibility can act as a burden, requiring a higher level of personal accountability than synchronous courses. Okay, students need to have a system in place to ensure they complete their coursework on time. So you have to be responsible and organized to be able to meet the deadlines. The last con that I have here is if a course requires group work or group projects, scheduling and collaborating can be kind of an issue. Okay, but I've never had for some of my courses where I do have assigned group projects, students figure out a date and time to meet, a platform, or they're going to use Teams, Zoom, whatever the case might be, to meet and get things done. Okay, with all of the technology that we have nowadays, I don't see a problem in students being able to complete group projects online. Okay. Now, the orientation content, the second part is going to deal with Blackboard. We're going to go over the Blackboard layout, the Start Here module, the course content, messages, announcements, and the gradebook. The last orientation video is going to deal with Cengage or Simnet. Now, for all of my courses, for example, for Introduction to Accounting 1, for Payroll, for Principles of Financial Accounting, for Principles of Managerial Accounting, for those courses, we are going to be using Cengage. For the only course that I will be using Simnet is for my computerized accounting applications course. That is where we're going to learn how to use Excel and apply it to business scenarios. Okay. For that particular course, we will be using Simnet. So the last orientation video will cover how, or first of all, what they are, what the systems that we're going to be using are, how to create our accounts, how to access them. We're going to review some of the assignments, the gradebook, so on and so forth. Okay. So that is the layout of part 2 and 3 of the orientation videos. Please make sure that you watch and listen to all 3 orientation videos provided. Okay. Now, a little bit of background about myself. I have been a full-time instructor here at South Texas College since fall of 2014. So I've been an instructor for about 10 years. I was the first one in my family to go to college. I was born in Reynosa, Mexico. I crossed over as an immigrant, so it was challenging. I come from a very poor family. I was not sure if college was for me. I've always been very smart. I'm always straight A student. As I went through elementary, middle school, and high school, because I didn't have anybody in my family that had gone to college, I didn't know whether I had it in me. So I started small. I started with an accounting clerk certificate, which I graduated in May of 2001 from South Texas Community College. After I started, I said, well, this is not that bad. You know what? I can handle this. I continued with my education. In 2004, I got my Associates of Arts in Business Administration. In December of 2006, I completed my Bachelor's in Accounting from the University of Texas Pan American. And in December of 2013, I got my Master's in Accountancy from the University of Texas Pan American. Now, during all of that time that I'm going to school, I am working full time. Okay. Sometimes students come up to me and say, Miss, it's very difficult because I work. I know. I've been there. Okay. It is difficult, but it is not impossible. Okay. It just has to do with time management. So during all of this time, I'm working, I have kids, I have a family. So yes, it is difficult. I'm not saying it's not going to be difficult. Yes, it's going to be difficult, but how much do you want this? Okay, if you want this like I did, then you're going to make it happen. Okay, so through all of this time where I got my bachelor's, my master's, I was working in the banking sector. I adopted 2 children. I have a total of 4 children. This is just a little bit about me. I have 2 biological daughters and I have 2 adopted sons. Okay, so during this time, it was a transition. I adopted 2 boys, and I had a lot of issues with them in school. So I need a little bit more flexibility in my work. I was working 60 hours a week when I was in the banking sector. So it was a lot of me being out of my house at work. So I wasn't paying, I guess, the attention that I needed to my children. So I made a career change and I started working at South Texas College. So when I did that, I realized, hey, now that I'm an instructor, even though I'm working full time, I do have some time to go back to school. And I did. I went back to school, and in November of 2020, I graduated with my Doctorate of Philosophy in Business Administration with specialization in organizational leadership. Okay. Now, 2020, I don't know if you all recall, was a terrible year. That's when COVID hit. Okay. Now, 2020 was, I would say, the most difficult year personally for me. In 2020, in July of 2020, I lost my father. In August, I lost my husband. Okay. When in August I lost my mother-in-law and my husband. So it was back to back. I had three family deaths back to back. Very difficult time for myself, and I would say for a lot of you. I know you all have similar situations where we lost loved ones to COVID. Okay. And for me, it was extremely difficult because my husband passed away in August. I was about to finish with my PhD. I was so close to the dissertation process, where I was going to present um, my research, and I had to like deal with the loss of my husband, having to be there for my kids, and having to complete my PhD. Okay. So I was very proud of myself in November of 2020. Even though I was going through a very difficult time, I still managed to pull through and finish up and get my PhD. Okay. So there are things in your life you cannot control. Okay. You cannot control certain things, and I understand. And if you are going through one of those difficult situations, I understand, and I am here to help you as much as I can. Okay. All you need to do is reach out, contact me, and we will set a game plan to be as helpful and get you on track, and so you don't fall behind. Okay. So life is not easy. We have unexpected things happen, but that does not mean we're going to stop, and we're going to give up. That means, what? We're just going to get it together, and move on. Okay. So I just wanted to share a little bit about myself with you. Now my kids, it's been 5 years. I've got my daughter. She is about to graduate with her bachelor's in education, and I've got a senior in high school. So she's very excited to be graduating this coming year from high school. So I'm looking forward. My older children, my adopted boys, have grown up, moved away, and they've started their own families. So I'm very happy for that. Okay. So let's move on. That's enough about me. Okay. Now, what are we going to do every week? Okay. Now, what I recommend is that you print out a copy of your syllabus and you put it in a folder for my class. Every week, as you are completing your assignments or the tasks for that week, you highlight, you mark off the assignments that you are completing. That way you make sure that you get everything done for the week. Organization is key. You need to stay organized, have a game plan. I know you're taking multiple classes, okay? Mondays, I'm going to work on this class. Tuesday, I'm going to work on this class. Wednesday, on this class. I'm going to leave the more difficult classes. For example, my classes are available Monday through Sunday. A lot of the students like to leave the assignments for the weekend, because that's when they have more time. I don't care how you manage your time as long as you get it done, okay? Now, before you begin working on any of your assignments, please do not skip the part where you need to read the chapter. We don't have the magical powers just for the knowledge to go into our brains. That would be wonderful, but it does not happen. In order for knowledge to be able to get into our brains, we have to read the information. Okay. Now, these are accounting courses. Okay. You don't learn accounting by reading, okay, or by me lecturing for hours and hours. Okay. The reading needs to happen because you need to gain exposure to the content. Okay. You read it, you become familiar. What are they talking about? Okay, now it's time to apply it. Okay, that is where the actual learning happens. Apply what you've read. Okay, so you read it, you have to analyze what you've read and then put it into a problem or a scenario. Okay, the more problems, the more scenarios that you solve, the better that you're going to get at it, and the more familiar you're going to become with the content. But in order for you to be able to solve those problems, you have to have a basic understanding of what is it that it's covering, and you're going to accomplish that by reading the chapter. Now, the chapters are not very long. Maybe it'll take you 45 minutes to read the chapters. It's not a lot of reading that needs to happen. So it is possible for you to do it. There's a lot of examples in your textbooks. Make sure that you review those examples. I do provide students with the PowerPoints for each of the chapters. I encourage students to utilize those PowerPoints to take notes as you are reading, or if you have any questions, you jot them down in your PowerPoints. Okay. I review any lectures if provided in Blackboard for the majority of my accounting courses, with the exception of computerized accounting applications. That's the Excel course. All of my other courses should have some videos embedded in them. Please make sure that you do watch those videos. Okay. Once you have read, you've reviewed the PowerPoints, you've watched my videos, then you can begin working on the assignments. Okay. And then the assignments will be listed on your syllabus. I do post weekly announcements reminding students of what they need to do for that week on Blackboard. Very important, do not fall behind. If you encounter any type of an emergency that's going to prevent you from meeting the deadlines, please communicate with me immediately so we can work something out. Okay? Do not wait until the end of the semester, because at that point I cannot help you. Okay? Whenever it's happening, you let me know there and then we will set up a plan individualized to your needs, and we will make sure that we will try to keep you on track as the semester progresses. If you have any questions about the course, please contact me. I am a friendly, nice instructor. I'm here to help you. For those of you students that have taken me before, I'm easygoing, I'm very understanding, and I'm very helpful. Okay, so do not be shy. I am here, I am available. Please reach out to me. Okay. Now, my preferred method of communication is via Blackboard messages. If you need to speak with me outside of my office hours, please let me know so we can schedule a date and time that works for both of us. Okay. Now, if when you're contacting me, you don't use Blackboard messages, you use either email or Pronto, please make sure that you let me know your name and what class you're in. Okay, because it's very difficult for me to figure out, okay, Maria is in what class. Okay, so I have to go searching for a Maria, and I don't even know Maria's last name. So, please make sure that you give me as much information. If you message me through Blackboard, that is not necessary, because I know it's Maria. I'm provided with your last name, and I know that you're in that specific course. Okay, so whatever method you choose, I'm okay with. Just let me know what class you are in so I can be able to respond your questions, because I do have several courses that I teach this semester. Okay. My office hours for the spring 2025 are Monday and Wednesdays from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now, my office is at the Pecan campus, the second floor, building J. So my office is J2.1006. That information can be found in your course syllabus. Now, I prefer that you set up an appointment just so that I have allocated time for you. I've had situations in the past where I have 2 or 3 students showing up at the same time, and they have to wait. Okay, that way, if you have a scheduled time, I am expecting you, and I can block off 30 minutes of my time, whatever is it that you need, so we can discuss any issues that you might be having. Okay, to be able to be successful in my courses, you need to stay organized from day number 1. Do not fall behind. If you are getting lost with the content, with the material, please reach out to me so we can figure out what is best. There is tutoring at the CLE lab that they can help you out if you are struggling. So we have tutoring services. I do not grant extensions for the completion of the assignments. Please make sure that you adhere to all deadlines. If something happens, an emergency occurs, please let me know so we can work something out. Maintaining communication is very important. Okay. So I am looking forward to an awesome spring 2025 semester. I hope all of you are as excited as me. Please make sure that you do listen to the part 2 and part 3 orientation videos, as important information is provided there. I am wishing you an amazing semester, and if you ever need anything from me, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, contact me, go visit me in my office, whatever works best for you. Okay? Wishing you a great rest of your day. Until next time. Bye-bye.